I call to order the Township of Aleppo's Commissioners meeting as of May 18th, 2026. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Gwen.
President Haluka?
Here.
Vice President Williams?
Here.
Commissioner Jones?
Present.
Commissioner Michael?
Here.
Commissioner Amatucci?
Here.
Solicitor Jewett?
Present.
I would remind all present, commissioners and citizens, that these meetings are streamed as well as recorded, uploaded to YouTube for review at any time in the future. Our solicitor, I need you to
Yes.
clarify our.
Yes, just we have a few more visitors in the audience than we do otherwise, so a few notes on public comment. The obligation of the board is to provide an opportunity for public comment prior to official action on any item. I understand that we have some folks here to speak about an issue on Glenfield Road, and the request from the board is that folks hold their public comment until after Chief Haney's report, and do that as part of the police report. Just a reminder for those involved, public comment is an opportunity for the public to give comment to the board. It's not an opportunity for question and answer about any specific issues. Any matters that are brought up to the board, my recommendation will be that they take them into account and review further with staff or the solicitor as appropriate. So while there sometimes is a inclination to go back and forth about certain items, just remember this is an opportunity to present ideas. It's one-way flow of information. If there are follow-up questions the board would like to ask or answer, they may do it at your discretion, but there's no obligation to do so.
Thank you, Anna.
You're welcome.
I would entertain a motion to approve the May 11th workshop meeting minutes as written.
I move to approve the May 11, 2026 workshop meeting minutes.
Second.
Second. Third.
Any reason for discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Following down the list on reports, Chief?
I believe we're doing public works
Oh,
first.
absolutely. I forgot I put Tim in front of the chief.
Sorry, I have to go.
That was my fault, Tim. I'm sorry.
Chief.
Tim for Public Works. My fault.
All right, y'all got copies of the report. Obviously, we had to cut some trees on Swickley Ridge Circle that were getting ready to fall onto Swickley Ridge Circle. We had a couple issues with some things we had to replace on the one truck, or two of the trucks actually. We have an issue on School Street that I believe, do they have copies of this one? We had the engineer down looking at it. There's a stormwater pipe that has basically rotted away. We dug up to see, we had a sinkhole starting, so we dug it up. We can't even find pipe. It's just gone. I mean, it's a mess. Right now, there's a steel plate over it. I believe you all have copies of the engineer's report. I will add into this little mix where the pipe that is gone, there's another pipe that crosses over that's basically the same age, same style, and I've been told, because the water authority had dug there before, that it's in bad shape too. So it's one of those deals, if we're gonna tear the road up to begin with, we might as well replace both pipes. But that's up to you guys.
I saw that the engineer gave a couple of quotes for various scenarios.
Yes.
Is the fix-it-all-at-once scenario in there?
I believe we have to add
So we
two.
have three. We have one that's just fixed this one pipe with these graphics.
Yeah.
Then we have one that's fixed both pipes. And then we have a third one that does not have a drawing. And that addresses the water that is coming across the road, sheeting off on the other side and dropping down. And the roadway is starting to crumble on the far side.
On the far
side of the road. So the
Okay.
third estimate would tackle all of
Okay.
those issues.
That's a do-it-all.
That's the do-it-all, yeah.
Oh, also, one other thing I wanted to bring up, if I can find it, there it is. We're having issues with one of our furnaces, we're having refrigerant leaks in it. And as you know, the old style refrigerant, to replace it, it's, I forget what the guy said, $400 and some for a small little ounce or something.
Yeah, like
It's unbelievable for R22. We did get one quote so far from the same company that did the roof, and it was for $11,774.61, and that's to replace the indoor unit, the outdoor unit, everything. So that's another thing that commissioners need to look at, because I forget what the bill was for the last repair on it.
Do you know the age of that, Jim?
It's just about 20 years old. Or no, it was 20 years old, it's heading into 21. And I believe that's all I have. In case you have any questions about School Street, we're still in the process of looking at things, I think, but I think the overall consensus we were talking about was to just fix the whole thing and be done with it.
How fast is it degrading? How quickly does this need to be done?
It doesn't have to be done right away. We have a steel plate over it right now, so and the steel plate's fine. We didn't make the hole too large. We just made it large enough to see if we could find where the issue was, and there's no pipe left.
Okay.
And the problem with it is that the pipe that is deteriorated away comes from private property.
So this is a stormwater drain off of private property through that
Yes.
pipe? Okay.
So yeah, there's some private property stuff that would need to, like, we're trying to work through and figure out.
And I'll
Get
have to
homeowners
figure that
involved
It's
to
an
catch some of
animal.
their stuff, cause there's a catch basin in their yard that's private, so we're still trying to figure out how the pieces fit together.
The legalities of everything. And
Yeah, the Anna part.
The Anna.
Yeah, the Anna part. Any other questions? Thank you very much. I have a fire department thing I have to go to. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay, after that dress rehearsal, we'll have the police report. Chief?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, for the month of April, we had a total of 54 calls. Of course, 27 of those were EMS calls. Some we responded to, but the majority we did not. We had several burglar alarms, 911 hang-up, a few harassment PFA violations that we dealt with, all from the same area, same residents. But that worked itself out. The suspicious incident that's on there was just an incident up here in the industrial park with an employee and another employee. Again, nothing major for the public's concern, but we worked that all out. A few traffic stops, a few traffic citations issued, and like I said, a total of 54 calls from the month. That's all I have for public comment. Any questions or concerns from me?
I don't believe so. Anything you need from us?
No? Everything's great.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Stay safe, Chief.
Thank you, Zoe.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
I'm going to move public comment because of Chief Handy's experience with what I believe you've come to talk about to this place in the agenda so that Chief can be here. I would just ask that you identify yourself and tell us from where you come. Absolutely.
Yeah, my name's Fred Gregory. I live on Glenfield Road in Aleppo Township. And we've been having a issue with heavy truck traffic on the road due to I don't know if it's a business or what it is up in Swickley, Hillsborough, where a gentleman who owns a property is taking dirt onto the site and loading dirt and removing it from the site. So we have trucks going back and forth. Tri-axle dump trucks, tandem axle dump trucks, single axle dump trucks, plumbers dump trucks. Anybody who wants to bring dirt, seems like this is the place to bring it. A tri-axle dump truck is about 73,000 pounds. Just to give you an idea of the size of these trucks. Glenfield Road, it is about the cart path, and that's the lane that the truck can travel in. From yellow line to white line in front of my house is 8 feet wide. A truck itself is about 8 feet wide. Legally, I don't think you can go over 8 feet on the width of a commercial vehicle. I think that's, after that, you don't know? Okay. But that's typical. So that gives you an idea of how close these trucks come to our properties when they're traveling down this road. So They come up Glenfield Road, dump, or pick up a load and come back down Glenfield Road. On busy days, we were seeing probably a truck every 10 minutes. And I think the one day they were running probably 5 trucks. So I've asked the owner to take his trucks and go up Glenfield Road and use I-79. It would be an additional 1 1/4 miles for him to do this detour, per se. But he doesn't want to do it. So,
Did he give you a reason?
no. I've asked him 2 times. I asked him when he first bought the property and he started hauling material. And I went up to him and asked him if he would do that. I think he did agree the first time, but then they quit. So all the trucks come up from 65. I don't know where they're hauling to. I think he has another site down by the old Dixmont property, Tom's Run Road, off of 65, towards like Emsworth. Swickley Hills, I think back in, they told me it was like 1990, 1991, but I think it was a little bit later than that. Do you remember? You don't quite remember when they rezoned it?
I thought it was the early 2000s or maybe the late 90s, not sure.
So Swickley Hills has 11 single-family homes, 2 homes that could be called multifamily. They're basically houses that I think they just turned into apartments somewhere along the line. They have 3 commercial structures. One is, it's like a shed building. The other one, they've been working on it since we moved there in the 80s. And the other one is a business, which is, it's a well-run business. And so Swickley Hills rezoned that area commercial. With all these residential uses there, they rezoned that whole area commercial. So the gentleman who bought the property is now somewhat permitted to do this, if he gets the proper permits, which Swickley Hills Council stated at their last meeting that he hasn't got all the proper permits. So I spoke with Sean O'Brien. He is the district supervisor for Allegheny County Public Works Department. And he advised me that Aleppo Township has the ability to weight limit Glenfield Road in Aleppo Township, in the residential area that we have. So I'm approaching the board today to request that Aleppo Township take action, or at least look into the possibility of weight limiting that area of Glenfield Road. Now, it would be the township's responsibility to do the engineering to weight limit that, and you would have to do it by ordinance to be enforceable. The county won't weight limit a road because they told me they do not enforce anything on county roads. It's up to the local municipalities and the police departments. Do you know if that's a fact, Chief?
The county has the ability to enforce traffic if they wish, but do they actively do it?
Typically, they do not.
Typically they don't, but I don't want to speak for the county. I
Okay.
mean, there could be other places in the county, but in our jurisdiction, I don't typically see.
So, the
So just for the
situation,
record, this is a Allegheny County road, not an Aleppo Township road.
it's an Allegheny County road. And even though it's an Allegheny County road, Sean O'Brien spoke with his engineering department, and that's the advice that he gave to them. That to tell Aleppo that they have the ability to weight limit that road, to keep that truck traffic off that road. I mean, the truck traffic is ridiculous. I mean, the road itself is gonna start, there's already a section up by the property where the wall caved in, and there's a wall across from my house, it's starting to move a little bit more than it usually does. Not blaming it on the trucks, but the trucks are gonna speed that process up. Because you start running heavy trucks like that on that road, you know, it's dangerous, it's dirty, it's noisy, you can't enjoy your property. So, that's the request that I'm making to the board, to put a weight limit on that road. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this subject?
Hello, excuse me. My name is Casey. This is David. We are residents of the Swickley Hillsborough, but we live on Glenfield Road. The reason that we're here today is sort of to.
Your last name, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, Casey Schmidt. And I live on Glenfield Road.
I'm sorry, I'm taking care of a woman that's very ill, so I have to leave it on.
Oh, you're fine. No
I'm
worries.
really sorry about that.
That's great. So even though we are residents of the Swickley Hillsborough, because we do live on Glenfield Road, that's why we're here today, because we know that there are a lot of Aleppo Township residents that also live on Glenfield Road. So we would like to just make you guys aware of sort of some of the issues we've been dealing with, and kind of echo what Fred discussed, momentarily, moments ago. So some of the issues we've been dealing with are an increase in truck traffic. We have cameras that record our driveway at our home that are pointed at Glenfield Road, and the amount of trips to and from this property have been, there have been days when, as Fred said, there's a truck every 10 minutes. Whether or not they're picking up or dropping off fill, I can't say for sure, but there has been an increase in debris on the roadway. Also with that, there's been an increase in deterioration to the roadway. I believe Glenfield Road was repaved by the county as recently as 2024. There's already cracking being seen on the sides of the road near our property. I believe there may be in cages that are containing the roadway near 994 Glenfield Road. Those have started to fall into the creek. That's why the road is down to one lane in that area. So I guess, not necessarily my request to the council, but my comment to the council is that we've been having these issues in our area of Glenfield Road, and as I've said, I know that there are a lot of Aleppo Township residents who also live on Glenfield Road. So this road, I believe, I know it's a county road, but it is uniquely vulnerable to deterioration due to the fact that the creek is so close and due to this increase in truck traffic. As Fred said, they are extremely heavy trucks. These trucks are heavy enough, these triaxle trucks on their own, but when they are also fully loaded with material, they become quite a bit heavier. So that increase in truck traffic, if there had been a traffic study done for this property, that would probably be on the record somewhere with the Swickley Hills Council, but as far as I know, a traffic study has not been required as part of the permitting process. And as far as I know, no grading permits have been issued to this property. They, as far as I know, are in the process of receiving a grading permit, but there's steps of the process, final steps of the process they have not yet completed. Thank you.
Just one quick question. Have you addressed Swickley Hills? Given that you're a Swickley Hills resident and have the ability to do that, and what was their response?
Yes, we've addressed Swickley Hills a number of times over the years. So there is a DEP permit for this property, but the borough itself has not issued a grading permit for this property. As far as I know, the building inspector has been in communication with this property owner, but compliance has been, at this point, compliance has not been achieved, but the building inspector seems like he's been trying to work with this property owner, but it's been almost 2 years at this point that grading has taken place and a grading permit still hasn't been issued.
Thank you.
Can I add something I forgot to tell you?
Sure.
Just to give you a little perspective, Glenfield Road's about 19 feet wide, from the wedge curb to basically the shoulder on the other side. Glen Mitchell is about 22 feet wide. South McCoy, 18 feet 3 inches. McCoy Place, 19 feet. Weber Road, about 18 and a half feet. So these private little roads in Aleppo Township, just imagine triaxle dump trucks going up and down them roads. And that's what we're dealing with, because they're very comparable roads to what Glenfield Road is. Other than it's township owned, county owned, that's the only difference. Thank you. Yeah, there's no sidewalk.
We basically live on a berm of the road. There's nothing.
Yeah, the properties are right next to the asphalt, so, I mean,
There's nothing.
you'd have to experience it.
No, thank you, absolutely, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I would ask our solicitor to investigate whether in fact we have the ability to affect a
Absolutely.
road that the township does not own. And whatever other information you feel would be beneficial to us
I will look into it,
trying to help our citizens.
absolutely.
Thank you, I really do appreciate you bringing it to us. Emergency management.
Sorry, Judy.
Oh, hold on. Thank you, Chief, be
Bye.
safe.
Thank you.
Under police, we also have, the motion
Yes.
to adopt the resolution extending
Oh, to
the
extend.
contract. Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution that would extend our current police contract through the end of this calendar year. So moved. There's a motion on the table, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Once again, this is the resolution that would extend our current contract, not enter into a new contract. This is simply extending, and we're under negotiations for the new police contract going forward.
Where do
Just
where
note-
do the negotiations stand for the extension?
We have a meeting, a friendly meeting, scheduled for next Friday with the solicitor for Ohio Township to go over our questions, comments, concerns, and we'll hopefully have some returned revisions following that meeting
This is on
next
the
week.
contract, right? On the
Correct,
extension.
correct, on the new contract that would be 2027 to 2030.
But you're satisfied with the resolution for the extension?
Yes.
Good.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor of the
Aye.
motion to extend?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Emergency management, we discussed at the last meeting, the need to either adopt or not adopt the hazard mitigation policy of the Allegheny County Emergency Management. Routinely, we do. It would create a lot of work. I've worked with a small township that does not do this, that developed their own, and it's a lot of work, it's very difficult. So it would be my recommendation, not as president, but as the emergency management coordinator, that we adopt the Allegheny County Hazard Mitigation Plan as our own. And I would entertain a motion to do so. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Does everybody understand what this
Just a
is?
question,
Huh?
has there been a review recently?
Yes, both Gwen and I have, I went to 2 meetings, I believe Gwen went to 3, maybe 4 of them. If you're going to adopt the Allegheny County mitigation plan, you have to participate in its development. And so each township does a hazard vulnerability report that ours basically has stayed the same for many years. And that is brought into the Allegheny County both vulnerability study and mitigation plan. And then all of that from all of the townships comes together as one huge hazard mitigation plan on a county level, which is then submitted to state, which is then ultimately goes to federal.
Do you happen to know if the other communities served by Ohio Township are also in the plan?
Yes, everyone in Allegheny County except one very, very small township this year is at either committed to adopt or in discussion to adopt. Last year, I don't think anyone in Allegheny County withheld from the mitigation plan. I don't believe.
And the point of my question is, as long as Ohio Township's police department, which will probably respond to a lot of emergency response, that our fire department and public works, as long as the continuity across they're responding one way to us and one way to somebody else doesn't make sense?
No, this actually isn't a police response. This is a Allegheny County emergency management response. So this
Like
is
weather?
pardon me?
For like weather?
For any emergency or hazardous event that would happen in our township, which is declared by our township. The emergency management system, the national system, is a lowest common denominator system. So it's for example, I'll do a real quick example. So a hurricane hits Aleppo Township. It's our responsibility as a township to open our EOC, which we did for COVID because of Masonic. And then if we become overwhelmed, we call in whatever resources, which would include police, fire, EMS. If we were overwhelmed, we would call in Allegheny County, but we would remain in charge of the overall disaster. If Allegheny County became overwhelmed, they would call in PEMA, who would respond at the request of our township, but we would remain in charge and calling in those resources. Ultimately, all the way up through the federal government, FEMA, DMAT, and all of those agencies, but they would also all report right here to this room. In my knowledge, we've only ever activated our EOC once, and in fact, we were the first municipality to activate our Emergency Operations Center in response to COVID. And I did that because we had 529 souls at risk at Masonic, and as it turned out, it was a very good decision in retrospect. But so it's ultimately our responsibility. So if we needed, we could use 15 different police departments, and most likely would.
We're the responsible party
Yes.
until, as long as we have assets that will meet our needs. Only then will we be able to call other government.
But we still remain responsible for the entire
It's
event.
still our hunt.
It's still our problem. And ultimately our oversight. It's kind of a neat system.
As,
And it usually works. I mean, it worked well for us for COVID, and I've dealt with disaster management for
as
30
general
years.
policy, could we read the motion as written into the record
Absolutely.
instead of just so moved? Francis,
I'm sorry, what?
could you read the motion into the record as written? Some people that are watching don't know what so moved meant.
Oh, the hazard mitigation plan?
Yes.
Did I read it off?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
just read from right here.
Oh, okay. The motion is to adopt a resolution adopting the Allegheny County 2026 Hazard Mitigation Plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And the
I
second
have
was,
the
I
long-
believe, Art.
I have, yeah, I have
Yeah,
it.
you don't have to read the whole resolution.
Do you want me to read this?
That would be a lot.
Is there any other discussion, questions, comment? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Communications, other than our citizen participation.
I did get one phone call this month from a resident over in the vicinity of Nancy Drive saying that the neighborhood / feral cats over there are getting annoying again. So I asked Tim how many he's seen in his rounds, and he's seen a lot fewer than he was seeing,
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, because the property in question has changed hands and those people are no longer encouraging the cats and that. But there are still people from in the neighborhood who maybe, or people who visit the neighborhood and feed the cats, and this caller said that they still see Masonic employees coming out and feeding and housing the cats as well. So we will remind Masonic that they need to please remind their employees not to feed the cats, because that's not helping.
I think if we reach out to Tracy, she would put that up on there, she would put that up on
Yeah.
their system
Yeah.
and as a reminder to.
And that's very appropriate because we've had significant turnover
In your staff.
yeah,
Okay,
quite a
that's good
number
then.
of 20-year, 25-year retirements, et cetera.
And I'm going to defer some other communications that we got, because they're all on one subject, so I'm gonna bring them up at the subject. Is there a report from planning and zoning?
Just to let you know that we have been talking about getting together and having a staff meeting about some zoning and possibly subdivision and land development ordinance updates, because it's been a couple of years since we updated those ordinances. And so tomorrow, we actually have a meeting tomorrow to start getting our various lists together and start that process. Eventually, the process would be for the staff to work on our consultant, the HRG, to work on some language. Then it goes to the planning commission for discussion for any, those ordinance updates go and get reviewed by the planning commission, and then eventually it comes here for hearings and discussion. So it's a long process, but we're getting started officially tomorrow.
Just as a learning thing for myself, when they go, is there any problem with me having a copy of what goes to the planning commission?
No?
Just for my learning,
Yep.
just to become more familiar,
Yep.
et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
not a problem. It starts out with like a bullet point list, and then they talk about it too and see how they want to do it, so it'll take.
If you could just
a while.
copy, I'd like to just educate myself on the process.
Sure.
Wonderful. Clayton, our tax collector and treasurer.
Well, good evening, everybody.
Maybe.
So in your packet, you should have the month of April. Since I was not here in March, you also have those numbers as well with everything, but we'll just talk about April for now. So we ended up collecting $417,868.21 in total taxes. On pages 3 and 4 of your report, we do a comparison of April 2026 to April of 2025. And then obviously towards the year to date to the budget amount, so just kind of seeing where we are. Obviously, we still have more than half a year to go here as far as the collection goes with all of that. Also in your report, you now have also the ending balances of all of our accounts. So you currently have the PNC checking account at $971,805.66. Then you have our investment accounts, the liquid fuels, which is the salt every year, which sits at $79,041.23. Our general investment savings account has $1,604,262.28. Our reserve fund has $133,958.17. And then our capital improvement fund has $1,130,634.63. Add that all up as total monies on hand. However, you have to subtract out things that we have pledged and also targeted. So net operating funds ends up being $2,576,067.94. And then down at the bottom, you have the account balances for the sewer bond account at $919,105.53. And then the stormwater account of $130,154.21. So that's kind of where we sit with it. Any questions, concerns?
EIT,
We will have to
we'll look at it.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Just for your understanding, the reports that I submit to you are all on a cash basis. So these are things that always hit our PNC account with deposits and things like that. So if there is an issue or an error, we'll have to look into it further, so.
Good.
Okay.
And this is from, April 30th.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different transactions that have happened already in May that you'll find out.
Correct. So if there is an issue, we'll correct it. If not, we'll figure out what it is.
I hope it's true.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Under finance, I would entertain a motion to approve our bills.
Can we do multiple motions?
You-
No. Motion to approve April bill list in the amount of $102,919.20. To ratify April prepaid bills in the amount of $11,652.73. And to ratify April payroll transfers in the amount of $19,555.06.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Motion to
carries.
transfer $3,977.05 from the liquid fuels fund to the general fund for the payment of road salt invoices.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion to transfer $2,958.87 from the liquid fuels fund to the general fund for the payment of road salt invoices.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion also carries. Moving on to the Aleppo Township Authority.
No report.
Quaker Valley Ambulance Authority, there is no report. Quaker Valley COG, Mr. Art.
No current report, but keeping in mind that we'll have our meeting day after tomorrow. But however, I will tell you that there's been, for those who don't know, there's been a study going on and money's being raised for the last 4 or so years to do some very major reconstruction on 65. And it involves the businesses on 65 as well as deep concerns on all the people who live up on above the hill. And there's no sense of my going into it now, but I've seen a number of reports and engineering drawings, and it's going to be a big ordeal. So you'll be hearing from me
About that ordeal.
on that,
Super.
as soon as I know what I'm talking about.
Thanks for keeping up with that stuff, Art. Solicitor Jewett, I never know how to say your last name, give it to me.
Jewett, like Stewart.
Oh, that makes it easy. Keep wanting to say Joel word.
I will save my report on, other than the items we've already discussed, for executive session.
Unfinished business. We had briefly discussed a request from Leedsdale, 4th of July committee regarding a donation, and we had asked the public for some input about whether we should do that or not. This is the Leedsdale parade, not the Swickley parade. And I'd just like, before we open up discussion, I'd just like to read to you what we received. Number 1 is yes, 3 exclamation points, donate. Number 2 is we would be more inclined to give more to the fire department than the Leedsdale 4th of July event, thanks. Number 3, I have attended the Leedsdale fireworks for many years, even going back to when my children were young. I think it has always been a community event, open to all in the Quaker Valley area. It has been hosted and financed by Leedsdale, but I think it is appropriate for other boroughs to support it, similar to the Memorial Day Parade, which is hosted in Swickley, but many from all of the boroughs contribute to it. The donation is an indication of community support, in my opinion. Thank you for asking for public opinion. 3, in response to your request for resident feedback, I do not attend the Leedsdale 4th of July celebration. Thank you for considering a donation to the Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Department fundraiser. As our fire crews support our community so directly and so importantly, thank you also for your generosity in spending your time to lead our community. Number 5, in regard to donating to the Leedsdale 4th of July celebration, we vote no since we don't participate. Number 6, I have been to the 4th of July parade in Leedsdale, and a lot of hard work and effort goes into making it a great parade. People seem to come from everywhere, and so I would be in favor of supporting their efforts with a contribution. Also, of course, we need to support our local fire department with a substantial donation. And lastly, yes, please support the request for funding for Leedsdale 4th of July events. I have family from various places for the festivities, and we go to the parade and fireworks. Excellent fireworks show. Before we open discussion on that donation, just because of the number of times it was mentioned, I wanted to take a minute to clarify our support to the fire department. I'm not sure that all of our residents realize that we have a 6-figure contract with Aleppo Township Fire Department, and that we also pay for half of one of their trucks as part of our contribution. I just didn't want people to think that our $500 contribution to the Aleppo Township Fire Department is our only support of the fire department. We absolutely support and love our fire departments, and I just didn't want people to be concerned that that wasn't the case. It certainly is. And so I would open discussion and/or a motion to either donate or not to donate to the Leedsdale 4th of July Committee. Your thoughts?
I move that we make a donation to that.
I second.
Okay, there's a motion on the table to make a donation in what amount?
100.
I'll say $300 or $400.
Okay, pick one.
4.
Okay, there's a motion on the table to support the Leedsdale Borough 4th of July Parade in the amount of $400. There's a second on the table in that amount. Is that true, Francis?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a need for discussion?
I don't have a need for discussion.
I would ask then, all in favor to respond with aye?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? That motion carries, and we will support the Leedsdale Parade in the amount of $400.
It's a great parade.
The Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Department, that's good, because it's your obligation as the new commissioner to ride on the float in the Leedsdale Parade. It's been a tradition of our township for many years that the newest commissioner ride in the parade. So I would recommend that you practice this motion.
The queen.
The Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Company is in the midst of their annual fundraising campaign. I would remind you to send your donations made out directly to the Aleppo Township Fire Department. We are not supported by the Swickley Fire Department. We're supported by Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Company, and there's been some confusion in the past. So as you send those donations in, I would encourage you to make sure that they're made out to the Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Company. Is there any new business? Any additional citizen participation beyond what we have done? Solicitor Jewett.
Very brief executive session for the purpose of updates on potential litigation and to receive legal advice from me as your solicitor.
We have entered into executive session at 7:42. Dave? I failed to get a motion for our annual donation to the Aleppo Township Volunteer Fire Department's annual fundraising campaign, and I would entertain a motion to do so at this time.
I move that we make a donation of $500 to the Leesdale Fire Department.
On the table, is there a second?
Second.
Aleppo Township Fire.
Aleppo Township.
Yeah.
Fire
Oh,
Department.
You said these.
We already did that
Ready? Aleppo Township, motion.
And there is a second. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Without any other business, I would adjourn the Aleppo Township Commissioners meeting at exactly 8 p.m.